authors. Today we have a special episode and it is all about this book. I did 2 patterns from this Pokemon Crochet book. I bought it way back when I did one of my Joanne hauls. I'll link it in the description below which haul I got the book. But this book I only paid $5 for at the time. So for the amount of patterns that are in it, I only paid $5. It retails at $20 as of when this book was printed. I don't know how much it is now, but so we did 2 of the big I think they got beginner. I think their levels are beginner, easy, and intermediate are the patterns written on here. So I've done a couple, just 2 that I want to talk about today. I will be doing 2 from the beginner, 2 from the intermediate, and 2 from the easy category. Swap those 2. But today we're going to talk about the 2 ones I did in the easy category, and these are supposed to be super easy. So the first one I did, which I'm going to say this probably should have been put in beginner, not easy, was Gengar here. Gengar, if you guys remembered, I bought some yarn from Dollar Tree, and this was the Dollar Tree yarn I used on him more exclusively, all the purple ones. All the other yarn, because in the book they have felt, and I don't know about you, but I hate using felt on plushies, especially plushies that are going to be hard to sew into, like a chenille. I really don't like to use plush. Like, if I'm going to use felt, I'll probably use it on acrylic. And I will say that this book is meant to be used with acrylic. None of it says to use chenille yarn, so that's why probably my Gengar is bigger. It's supposed to look like this guy, and I think they look the same, I would say, but he's supposed to not have this as felt, this as felt, and this as felt. And what I did was, obviously I did this with, I like putting for the eyes and the mouth, I did it in acrylic. And so I looked up a video on how to do a half circle, and so I did a half circle there. I did a full circle inside the eyes, and then I did like a little, the little eye glow for the white part of the eye, because I was gonna do it without that white part, and he looks so dark and dangerous. I will say, even though he's mostly done, I have to, if I want to. I don't think I want to because he's set up in my room like this right now. But I didn't finish all the spikes. I think he's supposed to have 1 more here, 1 more here, and 1 more here, and 1 more here, and then he'd be done, and maybe 2 little ones on the bottom. But I ran out of the purple, so I used 5 balls of the dark purple on him. I could go back and buy 1 more ball, and I think I could finish him, but I think he's fine. I think to be fair, I really got tired of just like sewing in, but I might go back and finish him. Let me know in the comments below, would you go back and finish it if mostly everybody's gonna see just the front part of your Gengar and not the back part? The mouth, I felt like I did it too big. This was me trying. I don't know what I was doing here. I know I kept adding, like I did a line from here to here, and then I just kept adding rows to make it like go up a little, and then I started doing half double crochets on the bottom to make it go down a little. So that's how I got his face shaping. And then I did, I think I did the embroidery of the black for sure. Didn't do it right because I don't think I'm supposed to be able to stick my finger through it. I think I was supposed to, weave it in the white, but this one I don't have plans to sell, because Gengar is one of my favorite Pokemon. In fact, I probably should have if it wasn't summer, I would have worn my Gengar sweater, because I do have a Gengar sweater that my son borrowed when he was younger and like completely faded his face out, so it looks like Gengar is coming in and from the shadows. But so he was the first Pokemon I made from this book. I think he came out great. Let me know in the comments, would you finish the back spikes if it was your personal one, or would you leave it how I have it? The next Pokemon, which I will say was very easy, was Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff is the next Pokemon I did in the book, and for sure, super easy. It's just a ball with ears, hands, and feet. So there was not a lot of sewing involved. There were not a lot of pieces. You had to sew on each hand and foot, the head spike, and the ear, this part of the ear, this black part of the ear, to the back. Now, I will say again, with this part of the ear, you're supposed to do this in felt. I did this with acrylic yarn because, again, I don't like to sew. This was also with that Dollar Tree chenille, and I think this one only took 2 balls or 3. It might have taken 2 or 3 balls just to finish the whole thing. And yeah, so it took exactly that amount. Like, I had like very little left. I had like this much left. So I was playing an extreme game of yarn chicken when it came to this one. In fact, I think the last piece I made, I had to use like one of the other pieces ends. I had to weave it into the bottom to sew it in so that I could sew it in. And this one also, I did the mouth detail over here. Also embroidered in, and this one I think I did a better job because you can't stick your finger through it like you can with the other one. I did not have the teal green that they use, like the teal color eyes that Jigglypuff is supposed to have. So this is the lightest shade of blue I had. If for some reason I get a teal for some reason, I will probably come back and redo the eyes. Maybe I'll just attach it on top of these. I don't know. They're supposed to be a little bit more round, but mine's are a little smaller. I used a pattern that I found, and I'll link the pattern below for the anime eyes. Because again, acrylic, the what was used for felt in the pattern was this, and this. Those were all felt pieces. And I think even the mouth was felt. And I also don't like gluing in felt. Your opinions may vary on the gluing on top of crochet, but I always feel like the glue is not gonna last forever, and at least it being sewed on. Like, I don't mind gluing on top. Like, if I was gluing on top, felt on top of felt, I don't mind, but felt on top of the actual project, I kind of mind. So but yeah, this one was super duper easy, even with coming up with the ear inside patterns and the eye patterns. Thankfully, the eye patterns, I had already found that crochet artist that did the anime type eyes, so it was super easy to just copy them. Maybe I could have used a bigger crochet hook and a different color of blue, but I think Jigglypuff came out good. I'm going to show you what it's supposed to look like. And remember, this is all made in acrylic. Let me find the page. Yeah, Jigglypuff is supposed to look like that. See, it has more of a teal, and then it shows you on the bottom where you're supposed to use the template for the felt. But so yeah, those are the 2 that I made in the beginner, like the easy category. Again, Jigglypuff, very easy. I think I would have put this one under beginner and not easy, just because of how much sewing, how small the little pieces and the little detailing were. Whereas this one was super fast. This one took me a couple of days to work on because even this little small thing is, each of these are a detail, and then you have to sew them in. So like the fingers, the toes, I don't know if you can see the toe beans. They have little toe beans on the bottom. Like, Jigglypuff doesn't have that. It's just one flat little thing. And I was tempted to give Jigglypuff a marker, but we don't want Jigglypuff to mark up my house. So I know these are like opposite ends of the spectrum. We got our like pink cutesy Pokemon and our scary purple Pokemon, and look at how big these are. These are like, again, these are supposed to be made in acrylic, but I love how like huggable they are, and how good they came out. So I would highly recommend these patterns, even though this one was very sew heavy in this book. I think they came out great. I wish they had modifications for if you wanted to do sew pieces and not just do felt. But that's just a personal thing on me. A lot of people don't mind using felt. I kind of do. I want it all to be crocheted, and I know that's not possible. And later on, with some other Pokemon makes, you'll see that I did differ from that, and I used acrylic. I will be now. Here's the challenge that I am thinking of doing. I want to make, I don't know if I'll make it, I want to make all 151 Pokemon. So far as it stands right now, I have 7 Pokemon made, so that might be a very far goal. I want to see how many of them I can do free or very low cost. Like, I would say this book would be a low cost way of doing it, because again, I only paid $5. Some patterns are just $5, and I have so many patterns to pick from. You get, I will tell you which patterns you get in this book in case you are interested. Some of them I don't like, which is why I might not be doing all the Pokemon in this book. Let me see, where's the table of contents? Okay, in the beginner category, you got the Gengar and the Jigglypuff. You got the Wobbuffet. So I will come back and do Wobbuffet when, if I finish the 151 challenge, I will come back and do the Wobbuffet. You have the Snorlax. Now the Snorlax pattern on this book, it's like a sew-on patch, the thing. But I did see, like, Moonbay Crochet, she did a Snorlax pattern that I thought that she got from another crochet artist that I thought was great. So I will link the Snorlax that I might be doing in the links below. But I don't have that dark teal color. I only have dark blue, so I don't know if it's gonna work. I might have to wait, because I want to use a kind of what I have before buying more yarn, because that's how I used to go. I used to use what I had and then buy when I need. So that's probably what I'm gonna do right now. I'm probably gonna use what I have and then buy what I need when I'm done. Like, this one is starting to get empty. I did a shirt, which I'll show you in another video, that emptied out a lot of that store. I used, like, I had 8 balls of that color. I used 6 of them, so lots of yarn done. So that's in the easy category. Oh, and Pichu. Pichu is also a Gen 2 Pokemon, so he probably won't be going in for this. If I do it, it won't be in the first half. The next one is Charmander for the easy, Dragonite, Eevee, Flareon, Meowth, Pikachu, Psyduck, and Squirtle. Now, I've already done Charmander, Pikachu, and Squirtle, so I'm not coming back to this book to do them, but that's how the Pikachu would look. I think the one I did was cute as it is. I don't like the Dragonite pattern in this one. I do like it from another crochet artist, so that one I might have to pay for. The Eevees are also meh. The Meowth, though, the Meowth is one I'm definitely gonna do, and the Psyduck is one I'm gonna come back to do. And at least I have the perfect Psyduck color, and that yarn doesn't have a project attached to it, because I've already finished the project I bought that yarn for. And now the last ones in this category are Bulbasaur, Charizard, Jolteon, Lapras, Magikarp, which I've already made, but I don't want to. I want to do the easy patterns before I come and show you with the intermediates. Unless you want me to do a swap, I can do a swap. Vaporeon and Vulpix. Now, I don't like any of the evolutions in this book. I think they look, minus Vaporeon. Vaporeon is okay, I guess. Let me see if I find the Vaporeon. But I'm like, I like the Lapras. The Lapras in this book is amazing looking. But the Vaporeon and the other ones, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, that's what it's supposed to look like. I don't know that I like it. I've seen other Vaporeon patterns that I was happy with, and the Dragonite pattern the same. But the Vulpix looks kind of good. Vulpix pattern looks pretty amazing. So we will probably come back and do at least 2 in this book. 2 patterns in each book, and I'll do it like a book review, like what I recommend the patterns. And of course, I already recommended the other 2 patterns. I enjoyed making them. They were not hard, even in chenille, with how many, and they come out to pretty big sizes. Now, Are they sellable and marketable? No. If you're doing it for you personally, sure. But I would maybe this one is marketable because it's so quick and easy. But that Gengar, there's no amount of money that's gonna cover the cost. Like, I would have to sell the Gengar for at least $200, and there's nobody buying this Gengar at $200. So, but even though he's my favorite, what I used for his stuffing was I took a lot of my yarn scraps and just shoved it in there. So he is also filled with lots of yarn scraps because I didn't intend him to go to a home other than my own, and I don't have animals. I've heard that you can't put yarn scraps in the Pokemon or use them as fluffing because of choking hazards to animals. But for that one, I shoved it with yarn scraps because I was like, this one's definitely gonna be it's a mines. They all might end up being mines. That's why I'm afraid to make them all. I had ambitions, like maybe if I make them all, I go to a Comic-Con and just have a booth with 151 Pokemon, and that's all I bring to the booth, and that'll be all you can buy. But again, let me know if you like this concept. If you want to join in with me, now I know nobody's gonna make 151 Pokemon, but at the end of the year, if you make like 5 Pokemon, I want to see them. Tag me. Make sure that you start from today, so they can't be Pokemon you've already made. But if you want to join along in this challenge for me, I will only challenge you to make 5. I'm gonna try to make all 151 Pokemon. But again, tag me in your videos. If you have a video, I have my Instagram page is linked below if you want to tag me so I can see what your Pokemon and put like, this is my number 1, this is my number 2 Pokemon for the year. I'd be so excited to see it. And not only am I going to be making Pokemon, I'm also going to be making Pokemon related products. I am a big Pokemon fan, obviously, but I hope you guys enjoy the video. Happy crafting. Bye.